Leaders of New Generation is a growing foundation which began in 2005 with the name SAFI.
The foundation was initiated, have a long story because we started in 2005. At that time we were calling ourselves SAFI, which is Separate AIDS from Immorality.
Kidogo nasikia wanaume kidogo hii pombe imewalemeza.
Gatundu is known for drugs, especially among the youths. Leaders of New Generation, which their mission is to maximize the full potential of the youths and sports person and aspiration in building a better Kenya, saw the drugs problem and they had to do something to improve the area.
Well, for her.
Their purpose was to help the society by helping the youths on how to bake cakes and make yogurt.
It was a 2 weeks program, which we wanted to train youths who are outside school on how to be good entrepreneurs. So we trained them on how to make cakes, to bake cakes, make yogurt, so that they can be self-reliant. Because we came to realize that in Gatundu North, most youths don't have a job, or at that time they didn't have anything to do, and I can remember that time there was a lot of drug abuse in the area, and so we organized for a 2 weeks training so that they will get so that we could train them on how to make yogurt and bake cakes.
Their training went for 2 weeks since they didn't have enough logistics.
It was very challenging to get youths from different places and gather them in a central place to train them. It was very difficult to get them. So after 2005, the organization the training now stopped. So we had now to start again in 2011. After now we had came with strategies on how to get every youth in the whole area.
In 2005, the founder of the organization, James Mo-Moreen and Peter Kamau, organized this training. They had the passion for the youths.
We wanted to train youths who are outside school on how to be good entrepreneurs. So we trained them on how to make cakes, to bake cakes, make yogurt, so that they can be self-reliant. The NYC, the election for the youths. So I was elected in the district, and at that moment, because of the challenges that I had gone through with my fellow youths, I was looking for something which I could do and leave the impact and bring the change for the community.
James stood out for the work that he was doing. He was and is still a musician who approached life in every angle. James used to walk long distances for the sake of helping the society. He joined the Leaders of New Generation in 2011.
So I'm a musician. I used to go and perform in different places, and then after the performance, I could talk with the pastors and the church leaders so that we could have the training, which was for free. In fact, even it was so challenging because even the transport was a problem. It was the biggest issue. So after that, now I came to meet Peter through his mom, and after we met, Peter and James had that passion for the youth, supporting the youth, creating this generation whereby a generation of self-reliance. And when we met, now it exploded because we had the same goal.
In 2011, James and his partners found a new strategy for the organization. Most of the youth in Gatundu used drugs at a younger age. Their first approach of the problem was by teaching young people from high school the importance of education and self-responsibility.
Now, we found it was good that if we can create a generation right from high school, instead of getting the youths from different places in the area, those who have already left Form 4, we found that it was good if we can start training them while they are in high school, so that before they leave high school, they have the full course, and now they have the tools to come and be able to survive in the world outside. Because the reality is, majority of those people who are in Form 4s, the biggest number don't go to colleges and even the campuses.
Their first approach of the problem was by teaching young people from high school the importance of education and self-responsibility. The name changed from Safi to Leaders of New Generation.
Now, when we met, we changed the name from Safi to Leaders of a New Generation, because we came up with this idea of creating a generation, a self-reliance generation, developing a generation whereby it is free from waiting to be given. A generation of a hardworking generation, a generation with that mindset of working hard.
After high school, they grouped the youths to different groups and connected them to different places.
We also came to realize that there are a lot of funds from the government, like Youth Enterprise Fund, and because most youths don't have the information about it or the training, so majority of them they don't apply for those funds. So we found it's good that if we can start from high school up to the day that they will leave from 4, we found that it would be good now if we group them. Now after the whole graduation, we group them and then we connect them to different places.
Leaders of New Generation is based on 4 main pillars, which are entrepreneurship, community service, leadership skills, and health.
That we use to train them based on those 4 pillars, because we found that most of people, they don't have the knowledge even in accordance with leadership, and they don't have even the skills on entrepreneurship. They don't know, as we were talking with the guy, with the time manager, as he told you about saving, we found that most people, they don't even have the knowledge on how even to save. So with the curriculum that we use, it is divided in different modules, and we use it.
Their main purpose is taking back to the community. Their first school was the Case Secondary School. In 2012, they added more trainers and more schools. They set a target to different high schools. Once the schools managed overcoming it, they win a computer.
And then we had a target of 6. Luckily, we achieved the goal, and even we added 1 more school, which we had 7 schools at that moment. Now we continued with the curriculum, and the organization still grew. We still followed the strategies, and in 2012 June, we added another trainer, and we also added other schools. We added 7 more schools. The schools that we started with, we supported the project. We gave them the motivation, and we told them that any target they will set, we'll assist them achieve it. So last year we were able to issue 5 computers to different schools, which had generated 5,000 from the project. They had the main objective for our program. We want to take that mindset of giving, that mindset of handouts, because that is what is destroying our youths today. So we wanted to. Our program basically is based on empowering, and when you are empowering someone, there must be an effort for the 2 parties.
James decided to change Gatundu North because many of the youths at the place are known with drugs cases.
In Gatundu North, most youths don't have a job, or at that time they didn't have anything to do, and I can remember that time there was a lot of drug abuse in the area.
Leaders of New Generation are facing the challenge of new trainers. For James, it is a passion. He does not get anything on return. His happiness is changing the youths.
Whatever he does impacts positively on the youths. He wants to develop a culture of, for example, people who want to be in books, people who want to read, people who want to grow to be responsible persons in the society.